Measurement is a function of the system, right? The new system, implied in what I was saying, if the measurement is productivity growth and that's faster deflation, the new system means faster deflation. And what you can see in Bitcoin is people that are measuring their life by the existing system are getting more angry. Right? They're more mad at more people. Why are they more angry? Why are they more angry? Because their money is being debased and the world's creating more and more problems. They're measuring from the debasing system. People that are measuring in Bitcoin, I'm not saying taking Bitcoin price into their fiat dollars and then measuring. I'm talking about actually measuring from Bitcoin. What are they saying? They're saying
Prices getting down.
Prices coming down every year. They're saying the prices, they're experiencing the free market. They're experiencing what we're experiencing at this conference, that love is all around us. Abundance is all around us. Mm-hmm. Every year, everything I could buy gets cheaper. Mm-hmm. Right? And they're already living in the future. And a lot of them look over at the people that are living in the past. And remember, Bitcoin doesn't care what I think about it. It doesn't care if you print more money to make your life worse, right? It just responds. It's repricing. It's imposing that on the world, and it doesn't matter what you think about it. It doesn't matter if people yell at it. It doesn't matter what comes after it. It gets stronger and more decentralized, more secure, more decentralized every year, as it's imposing the real reality, physics reality, on us, and you could argue with reality if you want. You could get mad at reality if you want, and you could live in a bubble in your reality that has all these externalities. But eventually, you're going to have to face it. And the beautiful thing about this is happening. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that's going to slow it down. And that if it's climate change you care about, if it's anything, if it's politics you care about, if it's all of these symptoms from the existing system that's really mismeasuring what's happening in the world, because if money is just information connecting us and you have misinformation in money, it would be natural it looks like that, right? If you're measuring from the new system that doesn't have misinformation in money, you see it perfectly clear. And that is happening no matter what. Well, so the only question is, how fast do people join you?
Right.
Right. And how fast do they see a different future?
Yes.
And how fast does the world change from that different future? But regardless, that's where we're going. And you imagine what this means. Because this discovery is so hard to grasp because humans have never seen it before, they're looking at this discovery through all of the previous baggage. It means no history book we've ever seen has this in it. And so they're looking at constructs from like we would normally do to try to measure something that's totally new and imposing this. And even when people start to understand Bitcoin, most of the time they carry their baggage into Bitcoin, and they can't see how it operates completely different from everything else. And as they kind of remove their baggage and realize what this means, they go deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, and you see how it impacts everything else.
Have we ever seen this before? I mean, we all know Bitcoin is better than gold, but have we ever seen this in past societies before? Never. Where hard money has created abundance and flourishing?
So for times, but here's what I realized with my thesis, and I probably didn't even realize it in the book. I realized it after this. When I looked through the lens of the long arc of history, I realized that the free market was always deflationary. It was just deflationary at a slower rate because we hadn't invented things to be. We live on top of this, right? All of who came before us creates faster and faster deflation, and what that would mean is, 2,000 years ago, 5,000 years, it went slower, and that means but there was always, if you could steal a tiny little bit of productivity from the entire population, right? Then you could enrich yourself and slowly, and they wouldn't notice, right? Because if the natural market is deflationary, and you could skim off a little bit top, because most people measure inflation from zero,
Yeah.
but they shouldn't be measuring from zero. They should be measuring from the rate of deflation. So if you could skim a tiny bit, you skim from everybody on the planet, or everybody in Rome, or and you do that for a long time, and then you get to this thing that it breaks, and people start to notice, and because inflation has to go up higher, and then people start to, what's going on, and then you have to create an enemy within your state or country to be able to convince those people it's those other people. And then how do you, then you have to create an enemy outside of your borders to get your people to go to war, because those people are going to take your rights.
Yeah.
And then you reset it all again after if you win the war, and it starts again.
I mean,
And that's history, and that's our entire life history, and largely because when you go to gold could be centralized. So you had these pockets of windows that looked like they worked for a while, and you had human flourishing under the most free markets. But then because of that centralization, you could trust that if you could have that power of centralization, humans would always take it, right? And so they would cheat. And if gold worked to be able to create and stop that cheating, then it would have worked. We wouldn't need Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And that's where this is different. It is truly decentralized and secure. And that's where people need to go deep enough to understand why this is a first and ever discovery, and why that would be so confusing if society, no one has ever seen it before. You have to rethink, instead of thinking and dragging what it looks like from your pre-existing baggage, you have to impose what this means and work from the future backwards.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different paradigm. But once you do that, all of the next steps, that's actually what, for me, I'm surprised that people are surprised, because I can see all of the next steps perfectly.
yeah.